Hey everyone, I'm not in my usual backyard. I had to run some errands today, and I just wanted to talk to you and share some insights with you about the market and about trading. Because when you are going through what we've been going through, really the entire year has been red. And I mean, we're talking from the 1st of January till now. And it can be very disheartening. You think you're doing a good job, you think you're looking at the technicals, you're choosing good strike prices, and the market just pushes your trade far below your strike price. And then you panic, you roll, and then it's still hard to catch up. And your money's tied up, so you feel like there's very little you can do. Some of you were disciplined and you have the money waiting on the side, and so you pull that in and it goes down too, and so it could just feel like it's a black hole. And I know that it's discouraging, and I know that it makes you, if you are doing this, you just want to throw in the towel. But let's talk about what options you really have. Okay, so you could just stay in cash and not trade, which is fine. A lot of people do that, and they don't have to deal with these drawdowns or these emotions or seeing their portfolios draw down. But the truth is, when everything's riding high, they're not getting to enjoy that either. And we all know the market tends to go up, it drifts up over time. And so they're missing out on all of that collective compounding and pulling up all of their plays with it when it decides to turn around. So you could just put it in the market itself, an ETF. Now, that's a great way, especially once you have reached the limit for what you need to produce income from running the wheel strategy. I encourage everyone to take the remainder and put it in a diversified fund. And so that can work in the background while you are making the income that you need to make to justify that you're trading. And that's what you're using to supplement your income. Or if you're like me, you're retired, and that's what you use for it. But if you just put it all in the indexes, then that's great, but you still are having to deal with the drawdown. So I've got another account that's in a mutual fund, and it is used, I just take a monthly draw off of it. And it's down more than my trading account because at least with trading, I can be nimble and I can do some things to help salvage trades. And since I have cash on the side that I had been cashing up from when we were riding high, I'm able to take advantage of that and still sell puts on quality companies well below where it's trading now, and that produces some income. But if you don't do one of those, then you could put your money in money market. You could do a money market account. Now, you're not going to get anything significant, but you won't have the risk either. You could also put it in bonds. And, again, very safe play, not very volatile at all. You could split up what you're doing. You could trade with some, but then put the bulk in some of these safer assets in a volatile time right now. When the VIX is high, you can rotate your money over to safer assets. But for those of you that are in the trenches, for those of you that are suffering the drawdowns, and you're learning so many lessons about what to do and what not to do, you will be victorious. And once you have gotten through this dynamic and you've done this, you've been through a few cycles like traders that have been doing this for a while, the red doesn't sting as much because you know what's coming afterwards. Now, you do have to follow trading rules that successful traders follow. The sins in your portfolio definitely are shown if you're not following the trading rules. And let's face it, we know what they are, right? Over trading. You've gotten into putting too much money into one asset. That exposes you when that one asset wants to pull down, okay? That's a trading sin. You also have to deal with if you are into risky of plays. Here's the thing about risk plays, and I really want everyone to understand this. You can take risk plays. And a risk play, in my perspective, is a company that has promise, but it's not yet profitable. And so it hasn't demonstrated that it can take money that's revenue and turn it into the bottom line. And usually your companies that end up soaring, they've all been in that spot. All of your great companies now that you enjoy that are considered to be safer plays, they started off not making any money. That's how it works. And if you took a chance on one of those companies early in its life cycle, then you're sitting pretty right now. So there is a place for that in your portfolio, but it doesn't need to be a big place. So if you put a very small amount of, let's say you put 1% in a risk asset, if it goes to zero or cuts in half, that's not going to dramatically change anything for you. And as these go, because they're smaller market caps, it could pull down and then it could shoot up like a rocket on just one good earnings report or just a little bit of good news, or a larger company takes interest in it. And then you're flying high again. And if that's the case, you didn't need a lot of money in it to enjoy this significant ride up, but you're not as vulnerable on the pull downs. And so if you're in risk assets like that, I want you to consider putting on a trailing stop loss. It lets you ride up, but then it kicks in as it pulls down based on what you've defined. And on these more, volatile companies, you're going to probably need something like a 10 or 12% trailing stop. But many of you didn't do that, and you see much larger drawdowns than that, and you wished you had had a trailing stop on them. If you're buying calls, that's another thing. Even if you're going 3 to 6 months out, sometimes even on your leaps, it's good to put an exit hatch to get out of the trade. Yes, it doesn't feel good to lose any amount of money, but I'd rather you be a little wrong than a lot of wrong. And we don't know if we've hit the bottom yet. So for those that are learning different trading disciplines, they're going to remember the pain of not following a trading plan or not getting out of a stock when it just didn't want to behave, and they just decided they were just going to be stubborn and stay in it, and then they're suffering through that instead of just cutting your losses and moving on. Preserving capital is a big piece of trading, because every dollar that you rescue and you save from being eaten up from the market, if you see one of your assets going down, that's a dollar that you can use to make another dollar in the coming year. So you really do need to practice those trade disciplines. Put on your stop losses. Don't be afraid to cut your losses. Sort your portfolio from top to bottom. Do it every day in this environment, and take profit when you see green. And then those that are neutral, and if they've been neutral for over, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks, just go ahead and get out of them. Why take the risk? Get your cash built up again. And then when we get the signals that everything is heading back up, you're going to have plenty to deploy and take the eventual ride back up. You don't have to catch the bottom. We all know as traders, we can't catch the bottom. There's only a few things you can do to try to get the best possible price. You can put a trailing buy order on. Now, that's something that I don't know that you've thought of before. So you can say, okay, I want to buy this stock. Once it turns around and it heads back up 5%, I'm going to buy it. That's fine. No, you won't catch the bottom, but you'll be really close and you'll be getting it at a better spot. So consider doing that. You can dollar cost average in. Let's say your budget for a particular play is a couple of $1,000s. Well, maybe since if you think we might be at the bottom, start establishing your position now. If we pull back further, now you can dollar cost average in and average down. That's a good way to handle these types of dynamics. Get used to buying puts. Make them longer dated so that you don't have to deal with time decay, and then at least you'll see that green. Something that me and my members are doing in the community. We are now doing more frequent trades throughout the week that have to do with the SPY and QQQ, because that's something we can do and get a rapid hit on our money and start stacking the dollars for when things turn around. So just trying to think of different ways to encourage you and make you realize that you will learn from this and you will thrive from this. I don't want any of you to think that you can't trade. This has been a very challenging environment if you just started trading. But we'll get through the other end of it. You'll look back on this a few years from now and you'll look at it as the most important education that you had. Remember, if you're with me, trading with Ashley, there's no trader left behind, even in these uncertain times.